Ay, naku, bagbakan ng labas dyan po sa Senate Committee hearing ni chaired by Senator Amy Marcos kanina. Nag-umpisa yun po alauna, slightly over 1 o'clock this afternoon and bago lang natapos, no? Now it's almost 8 o'clock, bago lang natapos. And, grabe, bagbakan po. And, ang committee chaired by Senator Amy Marcos, supported by Senator Alan Cayetano. Nandoon po si Senator Ruben Padilla, nandoon po si Senator Bato de la Rosa, as well as online si Senator Bongo po. Banat ang ano, no? And very nice. Something that I will never regret for watching or spending time this afternoon to monitor itong committee ni Senator Amy Marcos. They are now investigating or probing itong arrest ni Tatay Digong po last March 11 po dyan sa Manila, and how he was turned over to the custody of the International Criminal Court. Ang dami po, dumating ang DOJ Secretary, dumating ang mga police authorities, kagaya ni PNP Chief si Marbel, nandyan po si Nicolas Torre, and even ang ambassador po, nandyan po, even si Alcantara, nandyan din po sa hearing. And yan po, nakita natin ang focus dyan po talaga si karamihan nagsalita doon si Secretary Remulla at saka si Ambassador. Sino ba yung Ambassador? Sandali, I'll give the name to you later. Saka ang ex or former Supreme Court Justice, si Justice Adolf Ascuna, no? Ascuna. And sino pa nandyan sa committee hearing? Nandun yung mga police, other government officials and cabinets, no? And it was hindi ng tao nagsalita. But ang mga banat, is not banat, but the mga questions ni Amy Marcos, Senator Amy Marcos, questions ni Senator Bato de la Rosa, mga questions ni Senator Alan Alan Cayetano, as well as si Senator Bongo and Ruben Padilla po. Grabe, no? Grabe po. And I will share with you a portion of this sabihin natin session or investigation held this afternoon. I think this is the third hearing na po, ni Amy Marcos regarding the arrest of Tatay Digong last March 11. But the first video clip that I'm going to share with you po, simple lang si Ruben Padilla or Senator Ruben Padilla po. Simple lang at saka straight to the point. Simple but straight to the point. Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this, and I hope you will appreciate ang speech or ang statement ni Senator Ruben Padilla po, no? Senator Ruben Padilla, you hold on. Alright, nandito, I will give it to you po. And listen carefully po. Simple, straight to the point, and very easy to understand. Down to earth ang pagsalita niya po, no? And this is why I love this Ruben Padilla. This is why I love Ruben Padilla. Hold on, nandito po. Let's listen. Today is April 10. Welcome po. Ito si Nico or ito ang Nick Talk, Diya Talk with Nico po, and welcoming all of you sa programa niya on this very day, April 10 po, and today is Thursday. Let's listen to Senator Ruben Padilla.
Ng Tagapangulo at kay General Bato, Senator Bato. A'udhu billahi minasyaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillahi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Pasensya na po. Ako po kasi may press con. Kailangan po akong makaalis kaagad. Gusto ko
Hold on,
lang
ha?
pong
Hold on.
parating sa lahat na wala na po dito si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Okay, let's start again. Okay, mas mabuti pa start tayo. Sandali, start tayo ulit. Because I'm trying to arrange para klarong-klaro po, no? Para klarong-klaro ang ang mensahe ni Ruben Padilla. Senator Ruben Padilla. Hold on. Gusto ko lang yan po, klarong-klaro. Kasi sayang if I will not make it clear, no, sa inyo. This is important talaga. Hold on. Nandito na. Let's listen to this.
Ating ginang tagapangulo at kay General Bato, Senator Bato. A'udhu billahi minasyaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Bismillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillahi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Pasensya na po. Ako po kasi may press con. Kailangan po akong makaalis kaagad. Gusto ko lamang pong iparating sa lahat na wala na po dito si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ito pong mga pinag-uusapan natin, ito po ay pagsuporta lang namin kay Senator Amy. Pero alam niyo po, sa ating mga magigiting na panauhin dito, napaka-ironic lamang po na alam naman po natin lahat, patid natin lahat, nagdadalawang pangulo lang po ang lumaban sa komunista. Una, si Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Ano po ang nangyari? Inalis natin sa bansa. Ang sumunod na lumaban po sa komunista ay si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ang tanong ko lamang po sa PNP, hindi ko po kayo hinuhusgahan. Hindi po ba nyo tinanong man lang sa mga nag-uutos po sa inyo kung bakit natin dadalhin sa The Hague ang ating dating Pangulo na alam naman po natin na buhay ang Communist Party sa Netherlands. Alam naman po natin na hinihingi natin dati na i-transport dito si Joe Masison dalhin dito sa Pilipinas. Pero nagkabaliktad po, ang tinransport natin ay yung dating Pangulo natin na lumaban sa komunista. Ito lamang po, tanong ko, bilang ako po'y dating rebelde. Hindi ko naman po yan pinagkakaila. Hindi ko po maintindihan kung bakit tayo po ay nag-submit dito sa mga tiga-Netherland. Alam naman po natin, kahit po itanong ninyo, ako po ay palagi dyan sa Utrecht. Kasama po si Joma. Hindi ko po yan dinideny. Pero nakakagulat lamang po na dinala natin to ng dating Pangulo. Yung po ba, hindi po ba alam ng PNP na karamihan po sa mga dumadating na pera sa komunista, sa mga terorista, ay galing po sa abroad? Yan po yung mga tanong na kailangan ko po sanang itanong sa inyo at marinig ang mga sagot ninyo, pero naubos na po ang oras natin sa paikot-ikot. Ako po ay gusto ko pong iparating sa inyo ang kalungkutang napakalalim. Sapagkat sama-sama po tayong lumaban. Gusto po natin ng law and order sa ating bansa. Pero pagdating po sa kaduluduluhan, alam niyo po, General Torre, congratulations, sa kadalawang medalya na po kayo. Pero alam niyo po, sir, nalulungkot po ako dahil yung katapangan po ninyo, sir, medyo nakalulungkot po. Bakit? Napakatanda na po ni former President, sir.
Yan po, sabi ni Senator Padilla. Hold on.
Matapang ninyo, sir, pero napakatanda na po ni former President. At alam naman po natin, sir, na lumaban niya sa komunista. Alam niyo lang, sir. Sana naging konting ano lang po tayo ba? Binigyan naman natin ng konting kung paano natin tinitingnan yung mga medalya nyo. Hindi lang nalagyan ng medalya si Presidente, pero kung sa medalya ang pag-uusapan, tinulungan niya tayo laban sa mga terorista. Yun lamang po, sir. Sana napakasakit isipin. Ito pong bagay na ito, parang pati itong ambassador natin. Ano po ba talaga ang, ano, ito po ba talagang operation para may aalis dito ang ating dating Pangulo? Kanino po ba? Kasi kami pinupuwersa kami lahat ng mga supporter ni Digong. Na-contempt po kayo. Pero hindi po namin ginagawa. Sapagkat ang order, walang order sa amin na ipakontempt kayo. Kung galing lang to kay PRRD o galing kay BP na pakontempt, ay kukontempt kita, boss. Baka ako pa magsabi na ako hahatak sa'yo. Pero hindi ko ginagawa, boss. Kasi walang order sa amin na gawin sa inyo. Ang natatandaan lang po namin na sinabi ni PRRD na malinaw na ginagawa ng pulis ang order sa kanila. Kaya po namin kayo nilirespeto, sir, dahil yun ang sinabi ng boss namin. Yun ang sinabi ng chairman ng PDP na ginagawa lang ng pulis ang trabaho nila. Pero sana naman, sir, isipin din natin kung anong itinanim ni PRRD sa bansang ito. Nilabanan natin ang komunista. Talaga bang yan ba talaga ang kapalaran ng mga presidenteng lumalaban sa komunista? Isang in-exile, at isang sinurrender? Ano pa po talaga itong bansa natin? Tayo po ba'y demokratiko talaga? Tayo po ba'y under control ng komunista? Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Magandang hapon.
Alright, yan po si Senator Ruben Padilla. Simple na simple po, direct to the point, and may tama. May tama talaga po. That's why I salute this Ruben Padilla. Remember po, no? Remember what Tatay Digong did for our country when he was the president. When he was the president. Totoo na yan po. Totoo yun sinasabi ni Senator Ruben Padilla. He was fighting against the communists. He was fighting against the communists. He was fighting against the communists. And what did we do? We wanted the late season to return to the Philippines. But what happened? We sent ang good president natin po dyan po sa Netherlands. Grabe, no? Grabe. But anyway, kayo nang bahala. I'm just sharing with you what I managed to save or share with you itong mga video clips. Next video clip that I'm going to share with you, ito si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, wherein he was saying, when we talk about accountability, yes, suporta siya sa accountability, but it should be done in the Philippines, referring to Tatay Digong. He should be trialed in the Philippines, not outside. And nandito po, let's listen to this video clip ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Hold on, nandito po. Let's listen to this. Okay, hold on, Sandali. Alright, saan na yan?
What accountability? The Pro Duterte feels that the accountability is the drug lords, etc. And if President Duterte did something that amounts to a crime, pero ang accountability dapat dito sa Pilipinas at tamang proseso. So doon naman sa gustong i-hold, anti-Duterte gusto siyang i-hold accountable, siguro naman it's safe to assume that they also want yung tamang proseso. So the thing is, there was an actual Supreme Court case, the Pangilinan versus Cayetano, questioning, I think the Secretary of Foreign Affairs noon, kaya named, questioning nga yung kung kailangan ng Senate natin from the Rome Statute, from yung ICC. Pero nakalagay din dun sa case na yon, let me paraphrase, that the Supreme Court can continue to review yung actions ng executive. So my problem with yung interpretation dun sa residual powers. Kasi nga, di ba, sa 5 judge sa ICC, yung 2 nagsabing, wala kaming jurisdiction. Kasi nung sinimulan namin yan, tapos na dun sa residual na 1 year. But 3 justices said na pwede. So my problem kasi is walang World Supreme Court eh. So there's only the ICC Court and the Appellate Court. Unlike kung dito natin final sa judiciary natin, then yung interpretation, whether they still have jurisdiction or not, would have been done under Philippine law. And President Duterte would have been able to present his case, not only as to jurisdiction, but as to whether or not there is probable cause. So I'll stop there, Madam Chair. And again, I think this is a point of disagreement, but I just like to manifest that, no, that we can argue back and forth whether or not may jurisdiction ng ICC, and the reality is nandun na si President Duterte. But for future cases, whether it's Senator Bato or others named, I gave 2 examples. No, if suddenly there's a witness from Marawi and they said that our troops killed children and women, and then nag-issue ng arrest ang ICC, or if the military suddenly uncovers a mass grave in any part of the country and says na nilibing yan during 2011 to 2015, I want to know whether the ICC can issue a warrant and then pwedeng idiretso na silang i-expel, i-deport, or whatever we call it. And I guess in the finality, Secretary, is that the Supreme Court will rule on that. No? But just to clarify matters, I want to put that on record. That's what I want clarified, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Alright, yon si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. And this time, the next footage or video clip that I'm going to share with you, itong statement, no? A statement of former Supreme Court Justice, si Justice Adolf Ascuna. Adolf Ascuna po. Starting during the early portion of this Senate hearing. Kanina po, the third Senate hearing chaired by no less than Senator Amy Marcos on the arrest of Tatay Digong last March 11. Kung may violation ba o wala. Alright? Let's listen to this footage po.
Una, mas mahusay magpaliwanag.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Hold on, ha? You hold on.
Regarding the applicable provisions, the justification given by government for the surrender of former President Rodrigo Duterte to the ICC consists of 2 grounds. One is the warrant of arrest issued by the ICC and served through the protocol of the Interpol. The other is Section 17 of Republic Act 9851, which is the Philippine IHL law, and which provides that if a person is already being investigated for the crimes covered by this act, which includes crimes against, which includes the crimes for which President Duterte is being charged, is already being investigated by an international tribunal. The relevant Philippine authorities may surrender such person to the international tribunal, but it adds pursuant to the applicable extradition laws and treaties. Ngayon, ang tanong, ito bang last sentence na ito, which provides for the requirement that the surrender should be pursuant to applicable treaties, is still applicable since we don't have anymore the Rome Statute. Sa palagay ko po ay it's either we have the Rome Statute or not. If we don't have a treaty, then we cannot surrender the suspect to the ICC under this section, because this section requires that the surrender be pursuant to a treaty. Pursuant means in accordance with. And so if there is no treaty, in my view, we cannot make a surrender. On the other hand, if there is still a treaty that is due to the residual obligations that the Philippines may have even after withdrawal, pursuant to Article 127, Paragraph 2 of the Rome Statute, after withdrawal, the withdrawing state still obliged to cooperate with the ICC in relation to matters already under consideration by the court prior to withdrawal. So again, you go back to the question, is the Philippine situation something already under consideration by the court, by the ICC, prior to our withdrawal? In my view, Madam Chair, the answer is yes, because as of February 8, 2018, prior to our withdrawal, Fatou Bensouda, the former ICC prosecutor, already said that the Philippines is zero always bad.
Alright, yun po, no? Yun po ang message ni former Supreme Court Justice, si Justice Adolf Ascuna, no? Ascuna. Alright, the next footage I'm going to share with you is regarding ang warrant of arrest ni Tatay Digong, and this is being raised again by Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Peter Cayetano. Okay, let's listen to the statement of Alan Peter Cayetano during the hearing po, no? During the hearing kanina dyan po sa Senado. Hold on, nandito po. Let's listen to this.
Dun sa number 10, personally, I'm not committing the committee. Personally, I can understand that the service of the warrant is part of the national proceeding. But when you cite, kasi when the ambassador signed his name and ang nakalagay, he received legal assistance during national proceeding, it gives the impression that there was more than just the service of the warrant. If you relate that with number 8, kasi sa number 8, competent national judicial authority. So for example, kung sa kanila kasama ng judiciary yung fiscal, sa atin ang competent na judiciary is just the judiciary.
Mr. Senator, kasi nga, yung questions in the form refer to a case of extradition.
Yes.
Case of first impression nga to kaya.
Yes.
Even to the ICC, even to the Philippine government, to the Executive Department, to the Senate, to the Supreme Court, this is a case of first impression.
And
Kahit
assuming
na, lalo na kung first impression, di ba dapat linagay na lang, I do not know. Doon sa ibang question,
Madam-
sinagot niya, no, I do not know. Bakit dito buong ningning siya sumagot?
Yeah. Can I pursue that? So assuming, Mr. Secretary, that I will hook, line, and sinker agree with you, yun ang point ko, di ba? That the representative of the Philippine government should not just sign. He should have noted there, surrender to, not applicable, etc. Because nga, ang titignan naman yung dokumento, hindi yung paliwanag. But I have one more question, and ma'am, payagan nyo ituloy ko rin to kay General Torre. Sir,
Alright, yan po si Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Ano ba? Lagot ba si General Torre for what he have done to Tatay Digong during the March 11 incident dyan po sa Ninoy International Airport hanggang dyan po sa Villamor Air Base, and then paved the way for Tatay Digong to be handed over to the custody of the International Criminal Court or ICC po. No? So, nandito. Let's listen to also again Senator Alan Peter Cayetano questioning kay General Nicolas Torre kung he violated any laws when he executed the warrant of arrest kay Tatay Digong last March 11. Nandito po. Let's listen to this. Okay, saan na yun? Warrant of arrest. 136. Nandito po. Let's listen to this.
Dun sa number 10, personally, I'm not committing the committee. Personally, I can understand that the service of
Hold
the
on. I think mali tayo, no? Okay. Ito po. Ito. This is the one.
ho ba sa arrest or detention ni former President Duterte? No, sir. No, wala. Categorical, wala tayong violate na law. No, sir. Okay. Can I read to you Republic Act 7438, an act defining certain rights of person arrested and detained under custodial investigation, as well as the duties of the arresting, detaining, and investigating officer and providing penalties for violation thereof. Section F, any person arrested or detained arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation shall be allowed visits by or conference with any member of his immediate family or any medical doctor or priest, minister chosen by him or by any member of his immediate family or by his counsel. I saw the video, sir. President Duterte was asking for his own doctors. Ang sabi niyo, hindi, may pala kayong doctor na Colonel. Tama po ba? That's one part, sir. Yes, so you did not allow him to bring in his own doctor. There's another video that will show that he has his doctors from the Cardinal Santos. Yes, and he was saying kulang yon kasi ano pa sila, di ba? Yung iba pang doctors, pero hindi na pinayagan. There's videos from outside, yung ibang gamit, etc. Correct, sir? So, you can answer. Hindi to yes or no. So, to your point, did you allow all of his doctors in or no? Sir, we have substantial doctor. I think we have complied with 7438, sir. Okay. It doesn't say here substantial. It says here... 7438, sir. No, sir. Ang sabi kasi dito, his choice. Hindi nyo choice. Hindi nyo choice i-limit yung doctors niya. Ang sabi nyo substantial. So, I will clarify. Were there doctors that he requested you did not allow in? Yes, I was not aware of that, sir. Okay. You're not aware kung meron pinapasok o wala? Kung meron siya ibang additional doctors. But I saw the video wherein you're saying 2-star, ako na nagdedesisyon, I will not allow VP Sara in. Tama? Yes, sir. Okay. Hindi ba siya anak? Ang nakalagay dito, the person's immediate family shall include his or her spouse, fiancé, parent or child, brother, sister, grandparent, grandchild, uncle, aunt, nephew, niece, etc. Ang penalty nito ay 4 na taon na kulong. Penalty clause. Any arresting public officer, employee, or any investigator who fails to inform any person arrested, detained, or under custodial investigation of his right to remain silent and to have competent penalty of not less than 8 years. So, ito, sa letter B, any person who obstructs or prevents any of his lawyers, any member of his family, or person arrested, detained, medical doctor or priest of his choice 4 years. So, sir, you prevented VP Sara from entering. At the outset, sir, maraming salamat sa pagbigay sa akin ng pagkakataon na ito para maklarify yan, sir. Dahil nung first hearing natin, sir, ay palagay ko na-explain na lahat yan, sir. At nagkaroon ng napakaraming mga... Nung first hearing, sir, ang pinag-usapan kasi doon na lawyer. Ako, upon looking at the Constitution, kaming mga senador, we cannot appear before the court but we can practice. Pero ang presidente, vice president cannot practice. So kasama na ako doon at yung ibang nagsabing abogada. Pero nung nakita ko tong batas na to, nakalagay, pag anak, you cannot stop them from visiting. And nakita ko yung video, but sabi nyo nga, may kompleto kayong video, that's why I'm asking you, baka naman pinapasok nyo nang hindi ko alam. Sabi mo, sir, ako na. Ako nag-decision nito, sir. I don't know if you use the word ako mananagot. So, simply the question ko, did you prevent VP Sara from seeing her father? Yes or no? Can I expound on this, sir, before I answer the yes or no? Yes, go ahead. Thank you, sir. Kaya ako nagpapasalamat, sir, na mag-expound yan, sir. Dahil after the first hearing, medyo marami-rami ang lumabas, sir, ng mga misinformation regarding that matter, sir. Yes, sir, I did I did deny the request of President Duterte for him to allow VP Sara to enter, sir.
Alright, very clear. Ha? May lagot ba si General Torre dyan? One is, sabi ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, you did not allow ang doctor ni Tatay Digong. Although you're saying may mga doctor, pero ang law says, doctor of his choice, choice ng ni Digong. Second, did you violated ang law where it says that once you prevent any family members of the accused to visit, then it's a violation. Tama doon. Pasok din siya doon po. Saka marami pa po. Marami pa po. I'm not happy, but at least I'm not happy because we saw a violation ni General Nicolas Torre. I'm happy because this investigation, this probe carried out by Senator Amy Marcos, now showing us, lumalabas na po ang totoo, what really happened last March 11. That is where I'm happy. Not because I'm happy because he violated. We found out that he violated ang law po. No? Ito si General Torre po. No? John, it's not that. I'm happy because lumalabas dahan-dahan po the real truth of the story of the manner Tatay Digong was arrested and handed over to ICC po dyan sa Netherlands. Yan po. I would like to say, shout out muna tayo kay Marilu Pentojo, who is also watching my program today. And si Mama Elsa Hambre, who is also watching ang program ko ngayon na bakit ganito ang utak ng mga taong ito. They don't seem to have been educated or baka maledukaw lang. Sabi ni Mama Elsa Hambre. I agree with you, ma'am. But you're not happy because I'm not happy because I'm happy because the truth is now coming out. That is the reason why I'm happy. And let's listen po. Mayroon pa yan po, mga sabihin natin following hearings ni Amy Marcos. Okay, next I'm going to share with you itong video clip which I managed to record during the hearing this afternoon from 1 o'clock hanggang slightly over 7 o'clock tonight. Tonight. And nandito po. Let me share with you itong video clip. 2:36. Saan ba yan ng 2:36? Nandito po. Let's listen to this.
According to General Marbil, ikaw daw nag-order sa kanila na isakay sa aeroplano sa
And
Pangulong
that is the
Duterte.
limit also of my authority. That's my mandate.
To
My
have
mandate
him,
is to coordinate, disseminate.
So, for the record, hindi ka nagbigay ng order kay General Marbil na isakay siya sa aeroplano? Hindi. For the record.
For the record, I am not the authority to order the arrest, to order the
So, just
boarding of the plane.
categorically, did you or did you not give the order to General Marbil?
No.
No. So, General Marbil, are you lying?
Sir, I'm not lying, but sir, I just want to have the executive privilege po regarding this matter. Sir.
Dito na tayo eh. Executive privilege ka dyan.
Bakit naging executive privilege?
Kanina sinabi mo, PCTC ang nagbigay ng order. Ngayon, executive privilege ka.
Sino-sino na tinuro mo?
That's why we didn't want to attend the last hearing because this is what we were expecting, ma'am. We didn't want to be bullied.
No, we're not bullying
No, they're not bullying you.
We're not bullying you.
You're trying to make people admit something that they will not admit. And they said the
we're
privilege
trying
of
to
valid
derive
excuse
information.
not to answer any question.
Secretary
President Duterte is already at the Hague.
Tapos na.
We're asking kung sino nagpadala doon sa kanya.
Sino na
Tanong natin.
trying to understand every step of
As I said earlier, everything was cleared with the DOJ.
Bakit kayo naging lead? kitang-kita naman nung March 11, not only was the CIDG involved in the arrest, kayo pa rin yung lead sa operation.
Yes,
We can clearly see na kayo ang pinakamataas. You were the highest ranking member of the PNP in many of the videos.
I was directed by the Chief of the Philippine National Police, ma'am.
Yes, perhaps our Chief PNP can explain bakit yung CIDG ang naging lead samantalang investigasyon ang dapat mission nila.
Ma'am, I just want to, yun sa background po natin, yung sa PNP po, ang Interpol PCTCF2, ang dalawa lang po yung pinapadala niya, no? Pagka doon sa PNP po, ang main task po namin, pagka PCTC, CIDG, ang sa NBI naman, NBI Interpol. So usually, pagka may request po ang PCTC, ang pinaka-diretso po namin is CIDG, not any other unit when it comes to arrest po.
Yon po, no, si PNP chief at saka si ano pala, no, ito si Secretary Remulla. Sir, ang committee is not bullying you guys, no? Hindi ito kagaya sa Quadcom o sa Tricom dyan po sa Kongreso. Iba ito po. Although identified, mga tao ito, like Senator Bato de la Rosa. Identified siya with Duterte, no? Amy Marcos. We still don't know where is Amy, kan? Whether she's but definitely is not in the Marcos team anymore. She declared she's independent. Yeah? Of course, Ruben Padilla is supporting Tatay Digong and the group. You see? But they're not bullying mo. If they want to bully you, you guys, dyan po sa ang mga resource person po, there was an opportunity earlier for them to contempt ang resource person dyan po, yun si Ambassador. But they did not do that. No? They did not do that. Nandyan ang respeto po. And now, here comes Secretary Remulla saying bullying. I don't think so po. That's how I look at it. That's how I feel. Kayo po, mga followers ko po dito sa Nick Talk, The Real Talk with Nico. Do you think the same thing? Do you feel the same thing? Kayo na bahala po. Kayo na bahala mag-gusga. Anyway, nandito na naman isa pang video clip na I would like to share with you. And this time around, si Amy Marcos and General Nicolas Torre. Nandito po. Let's listen to this. Hold on, let's listen to this.
Apply to arrest with warrants. Diba? So, either nagsisinungaling or nag-iiwas. Ano ba talaga? General Torre, please sagutin po ninyo, warrantless arrest ba to na may reglementary period? Or arrest with warrant pero nagmamadali kayo dahil sa isang dahilan na hindi masabi?
Am I going to answer, ma'am? You're
Of
asking my
course.
question. Because I'm saying a while ago, and I think I was cut in the middle of the explanation, that I'm using that 125 just as a yardstick on how to I will look at the requirement of unreasonable delay. There's no
Ang
reasonable
sabi
delay
po ninyo,
supposedly.
mamalasin tayo. Ayan o, mamalasin naman kami pag hindi namin ginawa ang trabaho namin.
Because how do
Po. Yes, General, nalilito ako.
the person arrested with a warrant should be delivered to the judicial authority
Did you do
without
that?
delay, which I did. Ang nagbigay ng warrant, ma'am, ay ang ICC. So, hindi man tayo cooperate sa ICC, but we are cooperating with the Interpol. So, we assisted the Interpol in implementing the warrant. And dapat dalhin siya sa judicial
Senator
authority.
Bato, please.
Alam mo, General Torre, masyadong mahirap mahirap po intindihin yung kwan mo, yung justification mo. Hindi tayo nagko-cooperate sa ICC o nag-cooperate sa Interpol. Anong basis ng Interpol, di ba? Ang warrant ng ICC. So kung hindi mo na-recognize yung ICC, bakit mo sinunod yung pag-iusap ng Interpol? Sabi mo, hindi nyo na-recognize yung ICC.
Sir, for the
Bakit mo
question,
sinunod yung request ng Interpol na napakadali lang naman sabihin mo na, sorry, Interpol, we cannot implement that because we do not recognize the jurisdiction of ICC over this country.
Sir, may I?
Yun po. That's it. Narinig niyo po si Senator Amy Marcos at saka si Senator Bato de la Rosa questioning si General Nicolas Torre. So, how do you look at it po? Just keep it sa inyo. All I'm doing is just to share with you what I have, and I strongly believe that you deserve to know what I have. No? I'm sharing this today because I know for a fact that as a Filipino, you would also want to know the truth. And I'm happy today that the truth is coming out. The truth is coming out. Nandito po, may request kanina. Sorry lang po ha. May request kanina, can I replay daw yon statement ni Senator Ruben Padilla po. Maganda yun po, no? Maganda. Sige lang, I will give it to you before I will conclude this episode of mine, April 10 na po, Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday. Let's listen one more time ang opening speech or closing speech ba ito ni Senator Ruben Padilla. Nandito, let's listen.
Ginang tagapangulo at kay General Bato, Senator Bato. A'udhu billahi minasyaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillahi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Pasensya na po, ako po kasi may press con. Kailangan po ako makaalis kaagad. Gusto ko lamang pong iparating sa lahat na wala na po dito si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ito pong mga pinag-uusapan natin, ito po ay pagsuporta lang namin kay Senator Amy. Pero alam niyo po, sa ating mga magigiting na panauhin dito, napaka-ironic lamang po na alam naman po natin lahat, batid natin lahat, nagdadalawang pangulo lang po ang lumaban sa komunista. Una, si Ferdinand Marcos Sr. Ano po ang nangyari? Inalis natin sa bansa. Ang sumunod na lumaban po sa komunista ay si Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. Ang tanong ko lamang po sa PNP, hindi ko po kayo hinuhusgahan. Hindi po ba nyo tinanong man lang sa mga nag-uutos po sa inyo kung bakit natin dadalhin sa The Hague ang ating dating Pangulo na alam naman po natin na buhay ang Communist Party sa Netherlands. Alam naman po natin na hinihingi natin dati na i-transport dito si Joma Sison dalhin dito sa Pilipinas. Pero nagkabaliktad po, ang tinransport natin ay yung dating Pangulo natin na lumaban sa komunista. Ito lamang po, tanong ko, bilang ako po'y dating rebelde. Hindi ko naman po yan pinagkakaila. Hindi ko po maintindihan kung bakit tayo po ay nag-submit dito sa mga tiga-Netherlands. Alam naman po natin, kahit pa itanong ninyo, ako po ay palagi dyan sa Utrecht. Kasama po si Joma. Hindi ko po yan dinideny. Pero nakakagulat lamang po na dinala natin to ng dating Pangulo. Yung po ba, hindi po ba alam ng PNP na karamihan po sa mga dumadating na pera sa komunista, sa mga terorista, ay galing po sa abroad. Yan po yung mga tanong na kailangan ko po sanang itanong sa inyo at marinig ang mga sagot ninyo, pero naubos na po ang oras natin sa paikot-ikot. Ako po ay gusto ko pong iparating sa inyo ang kalungkutang napakalalim. Sapagkat sama-sama po tayong lumaban. Gusto po natin ng law and order sa ating bansa. Pero pagdating po sa kaduluduluhan, alam niyo po, General Torre, congratulations, sa kadalawang medalya na po kayo. Pero alam niyo po, sir, nalulungkot po ako dahil yung katapangan po ninyo, sir, medyo nakalulungkot po. Bakit? Napakatanda na po ni former President, sir. Ako naman po tagahanga ninyo sa pagka-matapang ninyo, sir, pero napakatanda na po ni former President. At alam naman po natin, sir, na lumaban niya sa komunista. Alam niyo lang, sir. Sana naging konting lang po tayo ba? Binigyan naman natin ng konting kung paano natin tinitingnan yung mga medalya nyo. Hindi lang nalagyan ng medalya si Presidente, pero kung sa medalya ang mag-uusapan, tinulungan niya tayo laban sa mga terorista. Yun lamang po, sir. Sana napakasakit isipin. Ito pong bagay na ito, parang pati itong ambassador natin. Ano po ba talaga ang, ito po ba talagang operation para may alis dito ang ating dating Pangulo? Kanino po ba? Kasi kami, pinupuwersa kami lahat ng mga supporter ni Digong. Na-contempt po kayo. Pero hindi po namin ginagawa. Sapagkat ang order, walang order sa amin na ipakontempt kayo. Kung galing lang to kay PRRD o galing kay BP na pakontempt ka, ikukontempt kita, boss. Baka ako pa magsabi na ako hahatak sa'yo. Pero hindi ko ginagawa, boss. Kasi walang order sa amin na gawin sa inyo yan. Ang natatandaan lang po namin na sinabi ni PRRD na malinaw na ginagawa ng pulis ang order sa kanila. Kaya po namin kayo nilirespeto, sir. Dahil yun ang sinabi ng boss namin. Yun ang sinabi ng chairman ng PDP na ginagawa lang ng pulis ang trabaho nila. Pero sana naman, sir, isipin din natin kung anong itinanim ni PRRD sa bansang ito. Nilabanan natin ang komunista. Talaga bang yan ba talaga ang kapalaran ng mga presidenteng lumalaban sa komunista? Isang in-exile, isang sinurrender? Ano pa po talaga itong bansa natin? Tayo po ba'y demokratiko talaga? Tayo po ba'y under control ng komunista? Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Magandang hapon.
Alright, yan po ang statement. Simple, straight to the point. May tama talaga po si Senator Ben Padilla. Kaninang hearing started at 1 something and ended up slightly over 7 o'clock p.m. This evening. And it was attended by or chaired by Senator Amy Marcos, attended by Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, attended by Senator Bato de la Rosa, attended by Senator Ruben Padilla, and of course, si Senator Bongo online yun po nag-attend sa hearing. Saludo ako po sa mga senator natin who attended the committee, and tuloy lang po ang mga trabaho ninyo po. We want to know the truth. Sa mga resource person, thank you very much po. I hope the next hearing you will realize the importance of telling the truth po, telling the truth. Kung sino talaga nakutos sa inyo, are you aware of what you have done or what you have been or doing during that very particular day, no? And ano ba ito? Plano ba ito? Long time plan as earlier mentioned by some resource person, no? Ano ba ito? One thing clear for me, this is politically motivated. Why? Because they want to remove the Dutertes in the political arena in the Philippines. They want Sara or Inday Sara Duterte, Vice President Inday Sara Duterte, commissioning not only for the midterm election scheduled on May 12 this year, but also she is a very, they look at her as a number one contender for the next president of the country, of the Philippines, during the 2028 presidential elections. Ha? And nakikita na natin po ang alyansa para sa bagong Pilipinas. Ang mga leaders nila po, ang Presidente Bongbong Marcos, ang Speaker ng Kongreso, si Congressman Martin Romualdez, no? And many others po identified sa grupo ng alyansa para sa bagong Pilipinas po. We already saw na what they are doing po, no? And come May 12, please, whatever disappointment you have, turn it into votes. Come May 12. Come May 12. This is the time wherein we will united. We stand united in one voice and show, tell to the whole world, tell to the Filipino nation that enough is enough. We still want the Dutertes. Yun lang po, Yun lang po. Kampanya na ito. Hindi yata ko dapat makampanya. But anyway, to the people in Zamboanga City, I just want to hingi lang ako ng konting, sabihin natin, tulong sa inyo po, no? Pero depende na sa inyo. Whether you want to, or whether you will believe me or not, it's up to you po. Nakita na natin mga kandidato dyan po sa Zamboanga, karamihan, kung hindi kaibigan, mga relatives lang po. And nakita na natin ang mga performance nila, ito mga incumbents, and mga those who wants to return back, no? And serve Zamboanga City, and mga neophytes. Now, talking about neophytes, candidates, I just want to share with you, or remind you, na mayroon tayo isang neophyte dyan po. Hindi lang neophyte candidate sa political arena dyan sa Zamboanga City, but neophyte also in terms of the party he is representing. It's a party list po, SSS-GSIS, Pensionado Party List po. And kung pwede, bigyan natin ng suporta kay Rolando Rolly Ledesma Makasayit, Diato Neste, de Zamboanga. De Zamboanga kayo. Grande siya amor para na Zamboanga. And more than willing to extend whatever help we can once we will bring him to the House of Representatives. In terms of education, no? I know Rolly, no? Matalino, studied in Zamboanga City, grade school, high school, and college, went to Manila, and further studies in foreign countries po. In terms of working history ni Rolly po, maganda din. He was once one of the officers sa Philippine Central Bank natin siguro, if I'm not mistaken. Nagiging chairman, president of the SSS, and of course, ang GSIS po. Na? So, good material yun po. If you need somebody to represent sa Zamboanga dyan sa Kongreso, mayroon na tayong dalawa. District 1, District 2. Now, if we want additional congressmen sa Zamboanga, wag natin kalimutan itong SSS, GSIS, Pensionado Party List. Ang first nominee, si Rolando Rolly Ledesma Makasayit. Huwag natin kalimutan, Diato Neste. Alright, with this, I would like to say thank you very much once again for making me a part of your day today. Maski paano, I hope I managed to give you some important news today. And of course, I will continue doing this thing, giving information, mga updates regarding ang sitwasyon ni Tatay Duterte dyan po sa Netherlands, and of course ang political activities natin po dyan sa Pilipinas. So with this, once again, Nico would like to say, Malaysia, Sabah, the Philippines. God bless us all. See you tomorrow. Bye.